Once again, we are back, and they were generous enough not to fire me for forgetting one of our sponsors' names in that last segment. But we are just a couple minutes here out of our Game 2 draft. We're going to see Na'Vi against VG.Reborn. VGR is trying to even the series here, trying to fight for a place in that winner's bracket final. And we see immediately the Chen ban coming out from VG.Reborn, as we talked about quite a bit in the intro. Na'Vi is going to go with that Sven once again, and the Doom. So far, carbon copies until the Enchantress ban out of VGR.
Yeah, I'm sorry you're going to have to look for a new job after this. Maybe you should brush up on your sponsors a little bit better.
I'm fired, man. Shanghai all over again. It's the Beastmaster pick at first pick from Na'Vi. We saw that have a lot of success in the last game. And VGR come into this game with a plan. They know exactly what they want to do.
Comfort.
And they're going to have their own potential for the mid lane here. And Na'Vi against the Gyrocopter, it's pretty early on. A hero I really love against this, but they're not going to pick it right now, is Clinks. We could see that banned out later. It just takes it to that hero early on. But yeah, Venge is a good hero here. We saw it last game. It didn't do as much as we thought, but we saw what it did, right? It dissuaded General from picking the Batrider, and maybe they want to get it for themselves still and run that Beastmaster as a support or something. I mean, that is always a potential, but you know, it was a nice thing to have last game. But yeah, you have to give the respect to the Wisp right now.
They're flying through this one right now.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, we know each other, guys. We're homies. Maybe they've scrimmed a lot, as they've.
I think Na'Vi is very confident after that game 1, and I think FY has a plan for what he wants to do. I think they talked it over.
Looks like.
Yep.
So they have really good lockdown right now with the Beastmaster. That's going to help them a lot. We talked about the Vision a lot last game. Now Na'Vi are on Dire's side, so they have a lot of Roche potential now with the Vengeful. Plus the Beastmaster. Do they have to go all in? Do you want to see like an Ursa or Lycan now on Navi's side?
I think you can wait at least one more pick before you even think about doing that.
I think both heroes are just amazing.
But it is,
Gyro,
what they love. You know?
Yeah.
It is something and it's something to close the gap onto the Gyro. You get on his face, and those are the heroes that just do very well versus the Gyro. Anything that can just physically damage, just knock him out right there. And I think Vici, you can tell, like they know what was going to go wrong. They know that our Enchantress wasn't able to do too much in that game. Sure, he may have had some bad creeps, like maybe some things just went wrong. So this game, they banned it out, and they know, holy crap, Seneco's Wisp was all over the place. Yeah. We don't want to have to deal with that kind of aggression. We're going to get rid of it. And now, the Invoker ban as well. That's definitely a very good choice.
Yeah, if you don't have first pick against Na'Vi, you have to ban out Chen and Enchantress. That's just a given there.
So I think the Brood ban tells a story as well.
Yeah,
I think Na'Vi is at least thinking a little bit about the cheese.
Yeah, they're a little. They don't want to go to a game 3.
Yeah,
they want to close this out. They want to close this out.
So we're gonna go home finally. No, we're gonna stay all night.
Get out of here, man! I want to see more.
What are you talking about? I just said we're gonna stay here and cast all night. I want to stay. I'm not like you. I'm not old. I can go to bed at like 2 in the morning. Jeez.
Wow, we're already down to flaming my age. Really, really.
Hey, you flamed me when I was a player, like on my worst day. You know, worst day.
I told you guys what had happened, that he was going to be smarting over that RTZ flame all weekend. So VG Gaming are going to come back with the line, and yeah, that's a nice call. They're going to go right to the Lycan, as they've been famous for. So I believe they're 9-1 with Ditya on the Lycan in this patch. It has worked so well for them. Obvious synergies with both the Vengeful Spirit and the Beastmaster. Are we going to see the Winter Wyvern pick coming out here from VGR?
You can't. You have Lion and Earth Spirit, unless you want to put Weehaw Earth Spirit mid. I don't think Mikasa's going to be that.
I just love the Wyvern against the double auras.
Yeah, I love it too, but they already committed for that Lion.
Fair enough.
Saw DDC yesterday, how amazing he was with it, but you're going to have the Wolfman running around. He don't care about no Hex. He just run away forever. But so this is a really good hero here. We should have thought about it. It has great synergy with all of their heroes right now. But you didn't ban out the Oracle.
Goodness.
So, okay, so Darkseer right now is going to have a horrible time in the offlane Yanni's. Oh my goodness.
If he even goes to the offlane.
I don't think
just
he can.
Straight up jungle.
I mean, even if you tried to go offlane with Darkseer plus ES against an Oracle Venge, you can't get it done. So you have to go jungle.
Yeah, there's a reason that the Darkseer pick didn't enter my mind, and you saw how fast Na'Vi followed up with the Oracle.
I mean, Seneko, like I said this, Seneko has to be the best Oracle, one of the best Oracles out there, and he just is on fire with this hero, so he makes it look amazing. I have a lot of faith in him when he picks it up. And in this game, it can work out a lot. It can purge the silences, obviously all of the Darkseer spells, basically.
I want you guys
community.
though. I want you guys to talk me out of this because I feel like this is almost disaster for VGR. What do you pick here?
I mean, yesterday they did pick the Darkseer, so
Okay.
and it worked out very well for them. We saw Yang go
Yeah, he's very good.
absolutely ham. There's not really any other way to put it. Like, he died twice in the lane, and then he ends up getting almost a triple kill in the laning phase. He solo killed QO. I think it hurts a lot playing it versus an Oracle, but it's not, it's not like GG. You can't just like call a game like that.
Yeah.
So
No, it's not over yet.
But also the thing that really does hurt them is that Gyrocopter is also a hero that he is very spell damage reliant early on. And Oracle, we have to remember that his W makes you 100% resistant to spell damage. So
Fate's
the
Edict is
entire
just too good.
Fate's Edict. I always forget what the name of the second. What it
That's
is
why I was
called.
helping you. I got you.
That's my boy. Yeah,
Yeah,
Fate's
Oh,
Edict.
wow, they're listening to us.
Yeah,
That's nice.
of course, dude.
They love
So,
us.
Yeah, it's really strong versus Gyrocopter as well as Lion and Darkseer. So it was just a great pickup there for Na'Vi.
Now they need a mid here from Mid Casa. Like only Quap really left for him. What else can you guys see from him? I mean,
You
There's not
can
much
go back to
lockdown.
the Death Prophet. But
I think if you don't pick
I
Death
wouldn't-
Prophet, then Navi pick it or something.
Yeah.
And then you have Oracle plus DP, and your laning phase has
Exactly.
to go spectacular.
I just-
Like, it's all on ZYF this game with his Gyrocopter and his early game rotations. I guess that's one thing you talked about. They were able to punish the rotations coming in the other day because ZYF had these amazing rotations early on. And he's going to have the same one in this game for VG to have a chance.
Yeah, I think VGR need to get really aggressive in that mid lane to stand
Yeah,
a
you
chance
have to
behind the
pick
Earth
that.
Spirit.
They're gonna go back with the
You
DP.
have to.
So is it Quap for Na'Vi here?
Good question. Against the DP, I like...
Well, it's a big difference from last game because this time VGR are going to have the roaming advantage behind the Earth Spirit.
Yeah, you might have to just get the Queen of Pain yourself. Just
Puck off the table. I guess you could Wind Ranger. But I ask myself, I look at this VGR lineup and I ask myself how are they going to deal with an Oracle buff Big Bad Wolf running at their faces and chewing their heads off.
yeah, the only way you really punish Lycan is in the laning phase, and they don't have the heroes to do it unless maybe you do something very crazy with Gyro Lion Earth Spirit. But he should have a really good time. Darkseer, we talked about enough. Jungle.
Yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't really pick the Quap. I mean, they picked Mag yesterday, but it didn't go well for them, so I don't know if they'll go back for that route. They already have Beastmaster for like the initiation types and setup.
Yeah, I just think I feel like from the side of VTR, it's just going to take ridiculous wombo combo from the Earth Spirit and the Darkseer, and I think the Darkseer is just going to have
Yeah,
a
Wind
horrible
Ranger.
lane phase.
Good call.
They
Yeah,
are
Yeah,
going to
Wind
go for
Ranger
the
and
Wind
Queen of
Ranger.
Pain for sure.
Okay,
Those are the only
guys,
two.
quick predictions here.
Na'Vi.
I mean, I'm gonna go for Ricci.
Okay,
Just
all
'cause
right,
you're
going
going
to be a
Na'Vi
little
again.
different.
Yeah,
I'm going to go
I-
Na'Vi, and we're going to send it out from the pair of Allens. We're going to send it out to the pair of Davids, the BTS duo of LD and GoDz. Take it away, boys.
Thank you very much, Nahaz. That's right. We are here live at Kiev Cybersport Arena, home of, well, probably the most hardcore Na'Vi fans in the world. VG Gaming, definitely an enemy turf. Down 0-1 at a best of 3. GoDz, do you like the draft? Do you think they're going to force it to a game 3?
I don't think so. I think Na'Vi have got this. VG.Reborn just showed their weaknesses in that previous game. The early game, the lanes, they weren't really able to pressure Dendy. He just got off to a great start. They're in a bit of a better position this time with FY on Earth Spirit. It's just a always active, always involved mid lane hero. You're not creep dependent. You're not waiting to find your timings. You're just ready to go 24/7. But I think Dendy's got the supporting cast to make sure he stills a good time mid.
Well, the teams will enter the lanes, and we get underway. FY TPing top, then rolling straight towards mid. We saw in his other Earth Spirit game yesterday a slightly shaky start, but he really came back after that and ended up having a magnificent mid to late game. So can only imagine the more that he plays the hero and officials, the better he's going to get.
And the Earth Spirit with the Darkseer does have some good synergy if you want to go towards that off lane as well. The Iron Shell on the roll-in with the Earth Spirit, then you get the long movement speed slow. Very often can lead to a kill and will cause problems for Dicha on the Lycan. So there is a lot of potential for FY to be very active in the mid lane as well as the top lane. And even the off-lane Beastmaster is a hero somewhat prone to being ganked as well, as we've seen a few times today with Bulldog as well as other players going down on that hero.
Well, Soneko, he did see that Earth Spirit rolling through the river. He guessed wrong on the first entry, but he guesses right on the second one. And he's even going to leave it for Dendy. So Dendy will get the bonus gold and experience, and with the bounty rune, assuming he gets it, he'll be off to a great start here mid.
Yeah, we're seeing this more and more. And then you're going to be a very happy camper. Osprey actually only now buys the second ward for the team.
There we go. Early skirmish is brewing, and Mikasa's the first man in. The Oracle nuke comes out. They try to focus down Seneko. Fairy Fire's getting popped all over the place, but first blood will go to VG Gaming. They also grab the bounty rune top. General just kind of on an island bottom lane. He'll get his for free. DDC finding the trade on Dendy, but they're also looking for Artstyle here. It's going to be 3 heroes.
Whoa.
So, I mean, really, I said a trade, but it's really just a bounty rune for General. Not much of one.
Iron Shell, very good at level 1 fighting. Combine that with an Earth Spirit roll in, Orb of Venom slow. There is no escape for Na'Vi. That's just not a fight they can win there. They got a little bit overconfident. They had the Howl damage, but they just didn't have the lockdown to burst down Mikasa at the start of that fight.
So should they have just forfeited the rune? Was that just greedy to even try and move in?
Yeah, easy to say in hindsight. Absolutely, they should have forfeited the rune. Like at the time, I'm looking at this like, okay, Navi's like in position first, but being in position first doesn't mean anything when there's a rolling boulder on with an Iron Shelled Earth Spirit. They've managed to get 2 Iron Shells off before the fight began, and this is even without talking about Rocket Barrage, another fantastic level 1 spell. So there was Navi in hindsight are going to look at this and say, yeah, we should never have taken that fight.
Well, they got the crowd cheering anyway.
Yeah.
Just imagine if they actually, win a fight. They'll go crazy.
Well, that's a dream start.
The rotation does come top, though. Seneko, he de-warded, and so he pretty much assumes that there's no vision here, but actually FY does see him, and VG Gaming, this may quickly turn into a trap and a sick play, buying that fresh ward top lane. You generally don't see this after the de-ward happens. It's just a free move-in for Seneko. Not the case. And FY will slap him down with the stick.
Darkseer and Earth Spirit already involved in 4 kills just a minute and a half into this game.
I mean, so much for the Oracle shutting down the Darkseer. Just that one good start to the game, and Yank's going to be up to the races.
And one of the nice things about this is they don't actually have to support Mikasa in the mid lane with the Earth Spirit. Just by pressuring top lane, you force Na'Vi to commit supports towards that top lane. So if Mikasa can hold his own in a 1v1, he may manage all right here. Problem is, Dendy already kind of winning the CS battle. One of the players who averages more denies than any other player in the game, and he's actually having a great start here against the Mikasa Death Prophet.
Artstyle quickly trying to get active here on the map as Na'Vi search for their first kill, and well, it's to Mikasa they will turn again, but while that was happening, there's action top lane. Big dive from Yang. He gets the Lycan, and he does end up going down, and the Artstyle rotation is sniffed out by Mikasa as he backs away. So he will have to make the walk back to base, but he avoids the death.
Yeah, a bit worrying when you're at this stage of the game walking back to base. He's going to be probably asking for a TP. He doesn't want to have to buy his own. There we go. Gets pinged out. It looks like Yang actually buys him the TP. With the good start Darkseer's had, he can kind of afford the money in.
But it feels like because everyone else on Vici is having a good start of their own, the gyrocopter of ZYF is off to the races here, farming well bottom lane, and obviously the Darkseer, Earth Spirit having a good time. They can get the Death Prophet back in the game.
Absolutely. We saw even last game when Death Prophet got completely demolished. You get a couple kills, all of a sudden things are looking a lot better. And this is not a game where we're seeing Mikasa go down too early on, although that may change as Artstyle has been very, very patient here mid.
Oh, I don't know about this, though. FY's rotating, and he might just kill off mid while the Venge is busy waiting. Still has an Ion Shell up for some time. Can FY find the angle? Oh, Dendy with the salve.
Yeah. Nice.
Probably not
salve.
A kill anymore. In top lane, they will snare Yang for a moment, but he's farmed and leveled enough that he will just walk away. Oh, FY sees a roll opportunity. The Ion Shell is about to expire, and Dendy's full HP.
I just don't think
comes
it's
to nothing.
With full HP and Mikasa level 4, it doesn't seem like a viable kill. He's heading back top, recognizing that a full HP Dendy with Windrun can't be killed. The problem is this now with Artstyle still patiently awaiting in this mid lane. His patience may just pay off with Mikasa looking very vulnerable to a gank here.
Mikasa,
it's so scary.
This Venge has been gone for so long. It's like, well, if he was going to gank me, he probably would have already tried, right? But at the same time, where is he? He's not bottom.
At this
He's
point,
not top.
Everyone on VGR is like, yeah, Venge has been missing for 2 minutes probably about. Where is he? Well, everyone is just like, probably
here we go.
That's probably their entire
Again, top lane, same old initiation. Straight on, FY will go, and then the surge away. So they decide not to take the tower. Snare comes out. Seneko trying to punish it a little bit, but can't really get much done. Fortune's End, not that effective. And well, it's just pressure on the Lycan, but I have to say, Diarra showing that he can still farm well in this hero. 23 and 8, even with the way the lane's gone, is pretty damn good. But finally, Artstyle. All right, the Patience will set this one up. Mikasa quickly dropping here with an early point in the focus fire. They get the kill. Hey, Chris really waited that one out. DDC even TP'ing in, but unable to turn it.
Yep. They were kind of ready for it. DDC's probably telling Mikasa, like, look, I'll be ready to TP in a level 2 Venge. You'll probably be all right here, but Dendi hits the shackle as DDC TPs in, and the burst damage was enough to bring down Mikasa, who did have his bottle before going down, so it's not quite the same dire situation he was in last game, but Dendi having a good start is always a worry.
Top lane, as soon as the supports leave, Vici Gaming just feasting on this hero, bringing down the Lycan. Oracle just can't deal with this duo.
That's the crazy thing, and you picked up this Oracle as a counter pick to Darkseer, able to purge off the Iron Shell, purge off the Surge, but
I mean, do you think it's purely just from like the level 1 skirmish and then the first blood, or
yes,
I
think it's purely that,
or do they lose anyway in the matchup?
They do much better than this. I think there's in a 2v2 setting, they're going to be the ones playing passively and trying to farm, but they're not going to give up the kills like they're doing now if not for that level 1 fight. I think that is the biggest problem more than anything.
So Diarra, he's had enough of the top lane. Off to the jungle he goes. They'll leave Seneko here, who I guess in good news is getting levels. Level 5 already on the Oracle at only 6 minutes in, but not ideal when you're Lycan is struggling this hard. Yep. So they're trying to make the best of it.
End's Gyrocopter has hit level 6, so likely we'll see him picking up a teleport scroll, looking to get active soon. He's even pushing out the lane with Flak, suggesting he wants to be able to keep this. By pushing out the lane, it just sets yourself up to be in a good position to make that rotation.
And FY, he's content with his victory in the top lane. He's now going to roll in bottom, and they just got a click of vision there at the very end. Calldown's going to come through. Doesn't connect on the roll, but he hits the kick. And with a calldown, it's an easy grab. And meanwhile, Diarra sneaking around top, but can't do anything to the Darkseer here. So the Earth Spirit, it seems like a very feast or famine hero, especially this tournament. He either crushes the laning stage or he's horribly underleveled and has no impact. We haven't really seen much in between, GoDz.
Yeah, this has been a stellar start for FY. A very high level as well. This is a hero that often, if you get that bad start, 7-8 minutes in, sometimes you'll see like a level 2 Earth Spirit or something with all kinds of problems in terms of trying to catch up, hit that level 6 Magnetize. But FY's on good pace to get level 6 at a decent time and may find some additional kills here as Artstyle walking to a bit of a tricky spot.
Yeah, Artstyle looking for the move on the bottom lane, hiding the trees, but elsewhere, it's DDC sneaking around. Unfortunately, he has been scouted by the Dire Observer Ward. So unlikely to find the kill on Seneko, and they go for the kick. They go for the dive. It's going to connect there with the cooldown. General in trouble. Not dead just yet. It's a lot of nuke damage, and they finally bring him down. Artstyle going for the stun on the Earth Spirit. That allows End to try and walk away. But the Oracle rotation comes through, holding him in position. There's actually no mana here, but the stick's about to come off cooldown. He's going to quickly Rocket Barrage, come back in. Almost gets 2, but Na'Vi hang on against all odds, and they do walk away with their support duo. And Tech, while that was happening, the Mikasa struggles, they continue, GoDz.
Yeah, this series has had a fantastic day 1 showing, but today he's become a liability for VG.Reborn, and something General said in the pregame interview, we've got this beast. It's Dendi in the mid lane, and he is showing it here with a fantastic game number 2, following up an incredible performance in game number 1 on Queen of Pain, and not showing any signs of slowing down. Has gone for a Gloves of Haste first. I'll be curious to see what build he's looking for here. If this is something like a Maelstrom Rush or a Midas. Not sure you want to go greedy when you're the ones who want to play fast tempo. I think this is more likely to be that Maelstrom as that first kind of fast DPS item.
So looking at Na'Vi, they do have the level 6 now in general. He has a smoke. Where do you think he's headed?
Darkseer? Darkseer's their hero who's kind of doing
general.
best. Yeah, no, sorry. I think he may try to kill the Darkseer. I'm looking around like who's the most valuable kill. Mikasa's already having a rough enough time. He's not like a must-kill hero.
Oh, Dendi, you mentioned he's having a good game, and he's going to find the Shackle mid onto Mikasa. The baits, and then the counterplay. Seneko keeping his core alive, and Dendi will just strut away.
That is teamwork.
That was another smoke. General had one in his inventory. And now they roll in bottom lane. FY looking for the pullback there on the boulder. Does drop the magnetize, but General jukes into the trees. More boulders getting dropped. They're going to pop a vacuum as well. Trying to lock him down. Commits the roar onto FY. The Wolves also going to work here, but one more boulder smash will secure the General kill. And FY gets out.
Na'Vi team coming down bottom though.
Oh man, they're really chewing through him now. Might find a big kill. Yang will go down. Quick physical damage bursts out.
FY's no
and now
TP.
FY trapped in the trees. He has the boulder smash. The rolling boulder's ready. And it's going to be a decent one back to the tower. Gets him out safely.
That's the high priority Darkseer kill though, the most farmed hero in the game. Going down. And Lycan getting credited the kill, so some nice kind of catch-up money going DCHR's way. And
I think he spent his gold, though. The mech is nearly complete.
Yeah, he's
Actually, he's got it. He's got everything.
Wow, yeah, very fast mech with arcane boots already.
We'll have to see how effective it is. We saw Xiao 8 with a super fast mech on the Doom earlier, and it did nothing. But if used well, we know how potent this item can be.
Yeah, Mikasa needs to look to level up Exorcism ASAP, because having the mech at this timing, you want to start taking objectives, 5-manning around the gyrocopter who has his drums as well, so
DDC's looking on the mid lane. He gets the stun off here on Ditya Ra. The rolling boulder comes through, then the kickback, smashing Ditya Ra, and the finger from DDC secures the kill. There's the counter shackle, focus fire now as well, and while that's happening in the bottom lane, a tower will drop. Dendi strikes back though, and they look for a bit more. FY power shot, not quite enough, he barely survives, and then the Oracle nuke comes in, securing a second kill. I mean, Dendi and Seneko really throwing this team on their backs after a horrific start. Na'Vi do end up losing the tower, but you can see the experience is actually in their favor, though they're down a bit of gold.
Sneaker's just ridiculously good at Oracle. The previous play more impressive than that one, but even there, it's just like he knows how to push his hero to the limit, secure those extra kills, maximize the damage output that he can do, and looks like he may try and smoke up with General. Yeah, he backs off.
Last smoke in a long time.
Nearby, but doesn't have vision of. Okay, didn't actually see the area where they were standing. So, I think there's not. Okay, Venge actually used his smoke as well. So they shoot through 3 smokes in the last 2 minutes.
They have none for a while, I believe, unless I'm missing one on the courier here. But they're going to run into the whole VG team. Yeah, that's not where we want to be. Mikasa gets surged, but he just runs away from Na'Vi. Wrong direction. Now the call down coming through. General scatters to the north. Seneco's going to try to keep him alive with the false promise. They will lose one. General likely to drop next if they can just lock him down. There is a Lion stun. It connects. Follow-ups there from the Iron Shell. And General, too, will drop. Na'Vi not only losing 2 heroes, but also their last smoke for how long is it going to be? 8 minutes, God. So
that's like
Vici have a lot of breathing room.
Your last smoke you use turns into both those 2 heroes dying. When you're the ones kind of slightly ahead, that's a really bad. And it was just unfortunate because VGO were actually grouping up as 4 or 5 at their tier 2 tower of all places because they wanted to smoke. So in a lot of ways, it was just a bit unlucky for Na'Vi. They were trying to find a single pick-off using a 2-hero smoke, but VGR were just grouped up. They want to fight. They want to fight.
But they have the Wolves here on the tree line. They might get vision in time to turn this one around. Ditya quick to morph with the shapeshift, but the rolling boulder comes out as FY goes for the big dive. He does get the kick, magnetized to point on to 2. Ditya scurrying back. Can Seneko save him? It's going to be close. Lower and lower he goes. The magnetize finishes the job, and Seneko will end up dropping. He didn't have the false promise, nor did he have any earned charges left from the looks of things. So Seneko, too, will fall. 3 more Na'Vi heroes hitting the deck. Vici Gaming exploding upwards in net worth after that little exchange. And
great plays coming out.
Now the game is firmly in their hands for the next 5 minutes at least.
FY is 2-2-12 on Earth Spirit.
14 out of 15 kills the man has been a part of.
I mean, Darkseer 12 of the 15, but yeah, FY has been the player of the match so far. He's looking for more at bottom lane. He's hit a boulder smash in art style. Another kill going VGR's way. The only good news is that this Death Prophet has been shut down. Mikasa actually got solo killed by Beastmaster mid while that bottom fight was going on, so his woes continue, but the VG.Reborn side is doing their best to put Mikasa on their back, as they should. He's the stand-in, he's the coach, he's telling his team, come on guys, just lift me up here.
What do we know? Maybe he's the one calling all the shots in-game. He's captaining from the mid lane on the Death Prophet.
Yeah, he's busy captaining. It's like forgets his heroes there. It's like you're playing a Chen and you're too busy microing your creeps, forget to micro your hero, but the end result is that your creeps do a whole lot more than your hero does. And
yeah, we have heard FY's pretty quiet in-game, so maybe it's Mikasa picking up the slack here. Who knows? But either way, things still looking good for Vici Gaming, and they just saw Ditya Shapeshift on cooldown. It's got a pretty long cooldown at level 1, and they might catch him out. FY with the Invisor and leading the charge as he so often has. He find the Wolves, hit rah-rah into the trees, and FY there to scout him out. Are they going to make their move on this? Yet just waiting for ZYF to get in range. There's the silence, the kick forward for the boulder smash onto Ditira. Everything connects, and again, VG Gaming striking. You can hear the crowd trying to get another chant going, but
they get loud and
they're
then suddenly
basically chanting for Vici as the way the game's going.
Every time they start their chants, it's like VGR suddenly get a kill or two, and then they quickly go quiet, LD. This is not being the game number 2 that Na'Vi were hoping for.
So with no smokes for at least a couple minutes, down 5,000 gold, which is bad, but not outrageously so, and mostly just feeling like you're on the back foot. What is the play for Na'Vi?
Well, Dendy seems to think it's to go for Roshan. They've kind of poked their way in there. Radiant Vision not at the Roche pit. There's one in the lane here, but if they can get away with this, it puts himself in a good position here because Dendy with this Maelstrom build is still very squishy. It's not like he can just lead the game right now, and Na'Vi, their initiation comes from a Beastmaster who's been shut down. 1, 4, and 3 General is not really in a great spot to start controlling the tempo of this game.
Oh man, this is big for Na'Vi though. If you look at how strong Vici's 5-man is now with a blink on DDC, the Darkseer, a completed Vanguard, and level 4 vacuum in 15 minutes, that's an instant team wipe if Na'Vi get caught. So they roll the dice and it pays off.
Kind of risk Na'Vi need to get back in this game, and with that, they almost complete the mech on Artstyle's Venge. Necro 1 is up for General, so things start looking a little bit brighter for this Na'Vi side. They will be going from multiple Necro books. They're going to kind of put together this big creep army, and for Na'Vi, the comeback will come very quickly. All it takes is one good fight, and then they'll quickly take multiple towers because of the pushing power that their draft has. So to get that good fight, I think the key kind of tools are going to be Blink Daggers to initiate with. I wouldn't be surprised to see General go for the Blink before leveling up the Necro book. Similarly, I think Dendy's next time is going to be the Blink Dagger. Unless he really feels too squishy, there is the Aghanim Scepter option. He's going to pick up a point booster. No. Okay, so yeah, it looks like he'll rush a Blink, not go for the point booster.
It really feels like the Dendy item of choice. We used to see a Shadow Fiend and preferred the flashier items, so Ags will be a part of the build.
Even the old Invokers, before, like, when everyone was not even really going Blink, before Blink was like the item to go, he would go like Blink, 4-staff as his 2 items on Invoker for pure mobility. He just loved to have that extra bit of flashiness.
Well, so far it has paid off over the course of this series, but Vici Gaming patiently accruing their big team fight composition and the items that come along with it. BKB now up for ZYF. Just the basic drums for Mikasa. So rocking the double bongos for the time being. And I guess, GoDz, we are going to see a Crimson Guard. You're up against a lot of summons and damage sources. Also pretty nice to have against Focus Fire. They will be getting some damage block. And
yeah.
it's one of the best games I can imagine for it.
Fantastic game for it. And anything to help Mikasa stay alive. So it's like the mech, the Crimson Guard, these team fight tools for the Death Prophet.
Where's the medallion? It feels like a virtually forgotten item with the nerfs, but
yeah.
Maybe this is the Solar Crest game.
Perhaps I don't know who buys it. Absolutely, if you had
Mikasa buys it for himself.
If there's like a medallion that was dropped on the ground, someone would be like, yeah, okay, I'll pick it up and use it, but no one wants to spend the money for it.
Doesn't feel that good. Oh, they find art style. Bottom lane, probably the ideal hero to tank this gank, but it is still a free pick off. VG.Reborn will collect it, and they're in prime position to push here. Though they're lacking one key piece, and that would be the Gyrocopter. He's holding serve top lane. General pushing that one out. Vici will move in. There's the TP. Beastmaster wants to join the fray, and now Yang looking to back off, gets slightly blocked by the Wolves. How far do they want to go? FY rolling away.
This is a full evacuation here. Na'Vi have realized.
Oh, Dendy! He cuts the cords to the lifeboats, and he looks for Yang. The roar comes through. They're going to bring him down. Darkseer tumbles, and Mikasa, with the exorcism going, has to run from the big bad wolf. Ditya chewing through him. The Oracle's going to finish him. Oh, not quite, actually. Didn't get the kill. False Promise committed. A fast frog still chasing forward. Turns back into the wolf. Gobbles him up. Now onto DDC. No, going to turn back and look for FY, who got off the Magnetize as well as just a single boulder. It won't be enough for any kills. 3 for Na'Vi, but they do lose Dendy. Finished off on the retreat. It was the DDC finger, I believe, that secured that one.
DDC throws the finger at the end. Gyrocopter just not being there. And VGR, if they hide the fact that Gyro's not there and Na'Vi are worried about Gyro's appearance with his BKB, then yeah, Na'Vi aren't going to chase him, but Na'Vi caught vision of End and then just made a full commitment to the fight.
Oh, Art Style. He has a swap here. VG Gaming, though, with Tears respawning soon, are very confident. Yang's back in the fray. Art Style looks like he's going to sack himself. He tries for a clever swap out. Won't happen, but
DDC dies to
DDC
summons, though. Yeah.
got chewed up by the Wolves in the end.
Even that is not the best follow-up for VGR, getting that one-for-one support trade. They commit all their heroes upon respawn as well as End's gyrocopter there. So I think End made a bit of a mistake previously, staying in that top lane as Na'Vi, as VGR pushed that bottom lane, and Na'Vi just found themselves an opportunity to defend with gyrocopter not being there.
You've gone BKB Rush. This is the item you get to team fight. You know, if you want to farm, you often see the Dominator, maybe even an S and Y, but this is the build for 5-man. He wasn't there. It was a 4-man.
Exactly. He's the hero also most equipped to be team fighting right now, next to like the Darkseer. The Darkseer and the Gyrocopter, the two most important pieces of the puzzle. Earth Spirits always want to be there as well, but if there was one hero you told me who could be top farming and not fighting, I would say make it be Mikasa. Even though he's the hero that can break and siege towers, he's underfarmed, he needs to catch up, and probably is the squishiest hero that offers the least in a team fight. But more than anything, VGR should just be grouped as 5. They don't need to have one hero elsewhere on the map.
Well, they're going to leave DDC mid, but they've got the four biggest heroes aggressively pushing the bottom lane. They are going to get the tower, though it might come at the cost of DDC. Scouted out by the Hawk now. And Dityara, quickly morphing, is going to try to commit here. They get the tower, they get a shackle, they're going to look for ZYF, they get him as well. And then DDC, it's a twofer. And that was all the Hawks seeing the Lion and preventing Vici from finding even a single kill.
And Dendi gets the blink shackle to make sure Gyrocopter can't get off BKB. They burst him down in time. Na'Vi just out executing VGR right now.
They found more. Dendi again, it was the Hawk, and this time from the high ground isn't enough for the kill. Mikasa so low, finished off. General completes it, but look for FY to try and turn this around. Magnetize deployed, and it's pretty much on the entire Na'Vi squad. FY getting swapped back in, and Art Style wants to finish it, but FY might have the last word. No, that final arrow from the Archer does it. A lot of magnetized damage, but not quite enough for the kills. 4 for 1, and Dendi has been on fire this game with the shackle shots. He's looking for another. Ooh, Yang, that was a close one.
I mean, FY did 3,000 hero damage. Unfortunately, it was spread wide throughout the Na'Vi squad, and no one was there to help clean up. Gyrocopter being dead just meant that the cleanup crew wasn't available.
They have not gotten value out of this Gyrocopter. Still a 10-second BKB, and there have been ample opportunities to use it, whether it was the fight bottom that he didn't attend, the fight mid where he never got to use it.
It's crazy because he was so involved and they got huge value out of the hero up until he had the BKB, but since farming it, he's just not, they've not been able to work together well as a team. He got caught out there in the mid lane, as you said, and then the top lane where he wasn't involved is led to VGR finding themselves in a bit of a bad position all of a sudden. They had a big lead early on, about 5,000 net worth, but it swung right back the way of Na'Vi, who are in a great position to secure the next Roshan as well.
Solution, throw that BKB on the ground and kill it. It's bad luck. Not sure we're going to see that. He's got to stick with bad luck and Magic Community for now over Karma.
It's the 5-man for VGR. This is where they're strongest, and this is what they've just... I think they probably evaluated the game and said, look, it's not the most efficient play. We're not going to get much XP or farm, but this will take objectives, and this is... We keep splitting up, and we keep giving Na'Vi kills with these Dendi shackle shot initiations. So we're just going to make sure we remain grouped up at all costs.
Yeah. They're playing it safe here. Commit the Exorcism. Will take down the tier 2, but Na'Vi on the split push now. General working through the bottom lane. Has the TP ready.
And that's the game plan for Na'Vi. Anytime VGR force the 5-man tower siege with an Exorcism, you send General to a side lane to push out the lane. You send Dityara to a side lane if possible. And then when VGR fall back, that's when you look to make your play, which possibly could be an aggressive smoke here from Na'Vi. They're in a good position to go on the offensive, and they're ready to make their move. Both teams smoked as 5.
They have a Veil. It's always a good item with Earth Spirit, but with Gyro, Lion, and Darkseer, this is some serious value.
Imagine if he had that last fight, he may have actually just got like almost a team wipe on his own.
Solo.
That 3K hit damage he did would have turned quickly into 4 to 4,500 damage.
Yeah, could have been the total swing of momentum, but let's see if they find a good initiation here, as VG.Reborn are also smoked there. Heading towards the bottom lane. Dityara's own smoke will expire, but the Wolf gives them that free intel. And I don't think there's any detection here on Na'Vi. No
Na'Vi
gem for the time
see
being.
VGR, though. They've got the Observe sitting right on top of them.
Yeah, VGR, there's the swap to start off, and they find the Darkseer. Crucial pickup, doesn't get off a thing. He's out of the fight, out of the pictures. DDC scatters in the trees. They do finally get to fight with the Gyro, though, who pops the BKB, hammers away at Seneko, juking through the trees, completely outplayed him. He hasn't even got a single kill yet. So far, 3 heroes down. It's about to be 4 with the Earth Spirit very low. It might be a team wipe now. The Gyro
TP
does
out,
TP away. Committed everything for Seneko and couldn't even get that.
Darkseer unable to mech. He got just the Crimson Guard off in the fight, but that doesn't cut it. He has to get the vacuum wall and also provide the mech for his team. Na'Vi finding the hero they needed for the initiation, and it all came down to vision. As soon as that smoke wore off, Na'Vi had the ward right above the Roshan pit, which saw the exact positioning of the VG.Reborn side, and it just set them up for success.
This, honestly, this game, way more than any of the others in this tournament, feels like that old Na'Vi gods when they weren't necessarily practicing that much. Not to say this team isn't, but you know they would be sloppy at times. They would overextend, but then they might be down, but they just seem to have like ridiculous fight after ridiculous fight, almost magical. Like, just how did they win that? It seems like the same thing here, where VG had the perfect items to 5-man, the better team fight on paper, but every time Na'Vi's getting the jump, juking through the trees, stalling, and just pulling something out of nothing.
Yeah. Initially, it was like the gyrocopter not being there was something we kind of harped on a little bit, but Na'Vi are finding the opportunities and creating like magic out of nothing when they're the ones who are supposed to be behind, unable to take a team fight. They just take they take these chances and they're making it work. They now find themselves in a very sizable lead, and VGR have got to be kind of questioning what the next play is going to be. Na'Vi don't have smokes left, but VGR are in the same position. Often when you're in often when you find yourselves here, you want to try and just go for that big 5-man smoke, try and catch Na'Vi by surprise, but that's just not available to VGR.
Yeah, and the items are starting to come out now for Na'Vi, who have really turned in terms of the gold lead, and we see it now reflected in the inventories. The double Necro book you mentioned, a mech for Artstyle to go with his own drum, and I think most importantly, General with a blink and another 2,500 gold. So the BOTs could be coming out now. Potentially something that's a little more 5-man oriented. We'll see what the choice is, but they are getting map control, and they're feeling confident.
Yep. And so everyone's got farm. Like your supports, you've got a mech drums on one of your supports. You've Oracle's got the Earn Arcanes, and soon can either buy a Solar Crest or something else. He has the medallion, has the money for the Solar Crest. We'll see what Seneko decides to go for, but.
So what do you do now if you're VG.Reborn? Like, you have this crazy 5-man team fight, but every time Na'Vi's getting the advantage on you. Yeah. How do you fix that?
Yang needs a blink. He needs to make sure he's never getting caught at the start of the fight. That last fight just came down entirely to the vision and the positioning. It wasn't so much. Yang doesn't know he's in a bad position until he finds Na'Vi behind them with the smoke. But
so do they need a gem to deal with the wolves? Is this just about wards?
Gem becomes essential for them at some point. So yes, gem they do need. They need a blink dagger on Yang to allow him to get better initiations off, and they just need to be more careful with him sitting further back. Have the Death Prophet, well, I guess not Death Prophet, she's too squishy. Just have the gyrocopter on the front lines and be ready to back him up with the Darkseer initiation.
VG.Reborn, it looks like they're no longer confident in taking fights outside the base, especially not into an Aegis. Dendi also with a bottled double damager, and on the back of it, Na'Vi will take the last outer tower of the game for VG.Reborn. They've still got one remaining in the top lane to take down, but they're not pushing right now. It's all Na'Vi on the aggression, and they are looking for an opening here. Artstyle posting up ultra.
It's so hard to initiate too, because you've got 2 defensive supports with the swap on the Venge as well as the Oracle having the False Promise. Both of these can be used to save the front line.
You wanted the blink on the Darkseer. Vici Gaming have it. Na'Vi yet to scout it. This could be the opening. Yang just barely poking his head out. We'll see if this really prompts a reaction. They are pretty clumped up here. 4 heroes fairly close together, but Seneko's sitting back.
And if you're Na'Vi, the disciplined way to siege this is with...
They're looking to go. There's the first boulder smash. It's not a connection, but it does prompt your BKB.
I mean, very safe play. This is the thing. Na'Vi is showing a lot more caution anytime they get these leads, and that was just over-caution from DCHR. Something... It's better that Na'Vi be over-cautious than too risky in their play, so I don't mind that too much, but definitely an unnecessary BKB, and they probably should have found themselves in a position to be able to get the tier 3 tower there. Double damage on Dendy's Wind Ranger when he's got an Aegis and can just siege the high ground with the swap or the false promise to back him up. But they decide, okay, BKB works on Lycan, let's not risk anything, let's fall back. Aegis, only a minute left, so unlikely Na'Vi are going to find themselves able to get great value out of this Aegis anymore.
I mean, like you said, you can look at like, I wasted 10-second BKB for nothing, that's really bad, but there's that like 5% chance that he gets caught out, doesn't BKB, VG Gaming have a crazy team fight, and suddenly your advantage is totally wiped. Yep. So it's maybe worth it just in terms of safety.
If there's one thing we've kind of seen time and time again with this Na'Vi squad right now is that they will slow roll things when they get the lead, and it's been a very much a change in mentality, which has kind of been a key part of their return to success here in Kiev. So they'll continue the formula that's been working for them and regroup once again towards this top lane, but with Aegis expiring, it doesn't look like they'll find themselves in a position to siege high ground with an Aegis, and without it, I think more likely we see them just try and maintain map control. They've got the Hawk Vision, they've got the Lycan Wolves, they have the access to the entire map as far as farm goes. DTRI is farming a double stack at the Radiant Ancients. The Radiant side, you've got 5 heroes, all of them sitting inside the high ground of their own base. So realistically, Na'Vi is ahead, and they will continue to get further and further ahead, even if they don't go for a push.
You look at the net worth chart, and this gyrocopter for ZYF, it is atop it, but it's the death prophet of Mikasa. It's one thing to be behind GoDz, but he is in the gutter. Basically there with art style, not too far off of his own supports, only 100 gold ahead of the Earth Spirit, essentially. It just doesn't seem like Mikasa's going to be hero this game. He's gone for the 31-minute Ghost Scepter because, you know, what else can he really buy? But it honestly feels like it's going to be 4v5 in these fights.
I'm sure MVP are probably like watching this game and kicking themselves like, why didn't we just focus on bullying the mid lane? Like their overall strategy, they tried to play aggressive and just got punished for it, but they should just focus all that aggression mid.
VG Gaming, they're daring to leave the base. They're going to commit here onto Dendy, but BKBs, turns, works on Yang. There is an MKB up on end, but can he finish off Dendy? Doesn't look like he blinks out. Kept alive by Seneko. Great support play here, and now they may turn back onto ZYF, getting bit by the wolf and doesn't like it very much. He bleeds out. That's 3, make it 4 as the Lion also drops instant buyback. But this might be all she wrote. Darkseer, again, not getting off the wall. Again, Na'Vi counterplaying VG.Reborn Reborn perfectly.
Yeah. And even the BKB Gyro, he goes down. The physical damage with the Venge Lycan is too much. They're going to try and counter this. Great shackle from Dendy,
shackle, beautiful stuff. ZYF's next. He's down for the count. 80 seconds on the sideline. A severe thrashing at the hands of Na'Vi. And where LGD succeeded here earlier today, it seems VG.Reborn Reborn are very close to being thwarted. That Death Prophet just bought back. Surprised she even had the gold for it, but that just further rubs salt in the wound.
She doesn't have the gold for much else anymore, so Dendy Boss
that's one way of looking at it.
Pushing his muscle around this game. We're going to see 7, 3, and 14 on him. He's been hitting incredible shackles all game long, and
yeah, look at that.
Oh yeah,
sick stuff from
them skills. I'll shot that one, guys.
That was a wow.
Yeah. So general refresher orb on Beastmaster. Times are looking tough for VGR from here. There isn't really a great comeback plan for them. Death Prophet, just one of those heroes that isn't able to farm or fight your way back into the game when you're just in this position.
Well, they look comfortable now. And I mean, like you said, this Na'Vi has been very disciplined, yet to actually fully break the base. But they're getting the pieces to ensure that even if they screw up a fight, it'll be hard for VG Gaming to make much of it. Boots of travel now on the Lycan, so the ability to push out a lane and then come to the fight, ensuring everything's at the Radiant base is now there.
Yep. Gone are the days where Na'Vi dive you at your tier 3 towers when you still have tier 1 towers up. It is a Na'Vi with a 15k gold lead and no racks down. I feel like anytime Na'Vi had a greater than 10k gold lead, they would have almost always have taken a racks by that point.
And it's just crazy because it was actually Alliance who did that today, and Alliance historically would be the team that would do the opposite and play it super safe, super stable. But here we go. Could be the last fight of the game. Dendy from the low got the 2-hero shackle once more. He's working on the gyrocopter, trying to pound through the DPS of End, and he'll do it. Now turning for more, and GG is the call. Na'Vi 2-0. Looking dominant versus VG.Reborn Reborn.
The crowd on their feet. They have been revitalized. Na'Vi and the Kiev audience are getting behind this story right now.
You know, at first, it seemed silly. The crowd cheers, Na'Vi, Na'Vi, Na'Vi. A Na'Vi hero dies. They do it again, 3 die. But they just kept on fighting, kept on persevering, and sooner or later, they broke through. They just outplayed VG Gaming. Some big mistakes there. It felt like VG Gaming could have won this game, but Na'Vi just had the better execution.
Yeah, they had the openings, they had their timings, but all it took was one fight for Na'Vi to get them back in that game. That chase at bottom when Gyrocopter was just AWOL just led to this huge resurgence where Na'Vi found pickoff after pickoff. And the vision advantage that Beastmaster gave them, that was the key aspect for me. Not so much that General stood out as an MVP, but what the Hawk vision allowed Na'Vi to do as far as picking every fight and knowing that they had an advantage. Also giving them the vision they needed to... The reason they could swap Darkseid and kill him at the start of every fight was because they have the vision, because they have the Beastmaster Hawk, and Na'Vi, they're through. They're in the top 3. They take on LGD tomorrow in the winner bracket final.
LGD versus Na'Vi should be a classic matchup. Looks like we've got Dendi on the stage getting ready for the post-game interview. High fives from the crowd. It's one thing to win a series, guys, but winning it this way, it's going to feel real good for them.
Yeah, and the way they won it. Yes, VGR is playing with a stand-in, but they proved yesterday this team's no pushover. So Na'Vi goes into tomorrow with an incredibly tough opponent, the toughest they're going to have met yet, but momentum's looking good, and this team's looking very stable right now.
Yeah, I mean, for VG Reborn, they have the stand-in factor. Mikasa definitely looks like a weak point. To be fair, he was not expecting to play, and Nono's been fantastic for them in the mid lane coming into this event, so you can't really read too much into their performance in this match, and they could still possibly make a run in the lower bracket, but for now it seems like Na'Vi just had the upper hand.
Yeah, I mean, VGR shouldn't be worried about a loss like this, just on pure skill. You're versing a team who focuses on the mid lane more than anyone else in the tournament. They always guarantee Dendi a good lane. And Mikasa, just skills-wise, he's a 6.5k MMR player versus Dendi, who's a TI champion mid player who's not quite 8k MMR, but he's basically got the skills
and in
that should be.
And in game one, it was a dual lane, so looks like over to the interview.
To our casters, that was incredible. How do you think, what helped you to win with such a confident 2-0 score?
A lot of practice, and we are a team, so.
Yeah, you are. Your next opponent is LGD. What do you think about them? Do you think it will be the same as today?
I think LGD is a very tough opponent, and we know they are very good, so we're gonna be ready to fight them. I hope we give a good fight. Yep.
We're sure you will. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. And we go back to our casters.